You guys think it's worth requesting the vegetarian or gluten-free meal on the airplane so you get your food before everybody else? I think this is not... I'm sorry for ruining like a good thing for you guys. I think they should start serving the special meals. I'm not going to say they should serve them after all the other meals. I think they should flip a coin. I think at the start, because they're already doing all the announcements anyway, they should flip a coin in the cockpit and be like, we're serving vegetarians first on today's flight. And because you could hear the fuselage. Everyone would go, yes! Oh, man. Why can't they do both at the same time? I think it's because, like, they only have a few vegetarian, and then all the other ones are in a big trough, essentially. So they drop off the special ones, and then they come through with the rest. I mean, honestly, I think I would be a shit flight attendant, to be honest. I like having a lot of space to work with. It's crazy to me that they serve, like, 90 different drinks on the airplane. In that little beverage cart, man. They should just have, like, water and Coke Zero. Also, don't you hate when you're thirsty as fuck and you're about to get your free half can of Diet Coke in Coach, but then the boomer in front of you orders like 6 miniature bottles of red wine and can't figure out how to get tap to work on the point of sale machine, and you're like, please! It's like the only part of the flight I'm looking forward to is getting this beverage. Just getting a little bit of liquid on this dry ass, like, 777, please, for the love of God. Then the dude, like, 2 rows in front of you is always like, what kind of red wine you got? First class is not worth it. I'll be honest with you, I may be a coach flyer until the day I die. But there is one thing, and I think I'm going to get a lot of -2s. There's one thing you will never see me doing. I think I'm very unlikely to pay three grand to fly in the front of the airplane, because that seems crazy. They know the flight isn't forever, right? Like, it's going to be over at some point, and then your money's gone forever. Like, they're charging like it's going to improve your life forever, is what I'm trying to say. So it's not going to happen. But one thing that you will never see me do is pay 20% of what it costs to go to the front of the plane just to be able to unbend my knees a little bit. It's not going to happen. I would rather pay you the 3 grand to fly in the front of the plane than pay you $600 just so I could push my feet out a little bit more. Only on international, but on international it's more expensive, bro. People are like, it's worth it on international. It's not worth it on domestic. Yeah, but on domestic, the first class is like 1/8 of what it costs on international, man, because everybody's trying to get the lay down bed for international. I fly home once every 3 years. Let me have this. It's your money. I don't think you're a bad person. Although I look at you funny when I get on the plane. Although it's actually sick because I get to get on the plane before you because I'm above a first class citizen. I have a child under the age of 5 who needs more time during the boarding process. And it's fucking sick. It fucking rules. But that shit's going out the window in like 6 weeks or something. Or I could just lie. Oh, but we have to give them our fucking ID to get on the airplane. They're going to know I'm lying. They wouldn't make you get back out because you've already gone through the gate, man. They wouldn't. I got to think about it. That's going to fuck me up, man. That doesn't apply on flights to Orlando. The crazy thing is that it does. So that I really feel for the people that are flying to and from Orlando that don't have kids because the plane is 80% full by the time Zone 1 gets to board. And let me tell you, keep dreaming if you think you're putting your shit in the overhead because there's a Disney store in the terminal and everybody's got a couple of things they didn't get at the theme park and lots of friends and family that love Mickey Mouse. There's times, well, I think what I do is I wistfully, every time they offer the first class upgrade for way too much money, I always go, that would be nice. And then I go, not this time. And I've been doing that for like 10 years in a row. And every time I land, like when you get on, if you fly first class, sorry, we should be playing the game, but this is real. I want you to know that I'm always judging you and I'm always getting the last laugh. I see you when I fly and you're in first class and you got your fucking whole family with you and you got your glass of water, and sometimes they even have like a bottle chiller and stuff like that to keep your water cold on the airplane. And you got your feet stretched out, and you got a bigger screen. It's like 7 inches instead of 4.5 inches and stuff like that. So I see you when I'm getting on the airplane, and your smug sense of superiority and your fucking Patagonia quarter zip with the Hugo Boss light windbreaker over top of it. I fucking see you. And I'm here to tell you, nobody thinks that you're awesome for using PowerPoint during the airplane ride, okay? That's not real work. Taking the shit that you know you're gonna say and putting it into a slide deck is not work. That's not, work requires things to be moved. It requires energy to be expended. That's not work, that's a hobby. That's leisure. Regardless, the fact that they call it business class and people are opening PowerPoint is disingenuous to me. They should be fixing the HVAC on the airplane. However, I always feel great getting off the airplane and seeing the people at the luggage carousel that were in first class when I got on the airplane, because now I'm like $5,000 closer to you. Or possibly, depending on where you are, $5,000 further away. How do you, you spent all that money on the plane and now we're all waiting 45 minutes for our bags to come down on the conveyor belt. Oh my God, we got to the same place at the same time and we watched the same shitty movies on the same shitty screen. But you got to eat salmon. Congrats, you paid $3,500 for 2 glasses of wine and real fish. See you in town, buddy. Literally, it's a tortoise in the hare. I'm catching up to you. I'm more ahead of you, but all we did was take the same airplane, and I'm closer to you when we landed than I was when we took off. How do you feel about that? This shit means something to you? It means everything to me. That guy can probably feel his legs, though. I can feel my legs, too. I have hands. What if they have more passive income than you? Unlikely. I've got 12,000 Children of Morta Let's Play videos that are still making a penny a day each. The snowball got started back in 2011, man. Oh, I own a business. Man! Maybe the business owns you, buddy. Ever think about that? But I do feel, and there's probably a reason they can't do this, but wouldn't it be better if instead of sitting down, you laid down on the airplane? You know, like they were like, oh, here's my seat. And then if you were sitting in the middle, you would lay down on the aisle bed and then roll over till you got to the middle, do up your seatbelt, and then like you could just lay down the whole flight, man. And then you could stack 2 layers. You couldn't have 3 layers. That would be like some shit from the Matrix. But you could do 2 layers. Yeah, like a bunk bed, exactly. I think that could be sick, man. I think it could be sick. 2 layers! There's only 2 layers on the airplane. 2 layers! I think it could work, man. Please don't describe it. I would not use the term that you're using that I don't even feel comfortable saying. I just think it would be nice to lay down on the airplane for once. I would describe it as an efficient way to place people on a transportation vessel. Because laying down is more comfortable than sitting up most of the time. And instead of reclining, you could incline. And if you're sitting down, reclining like 2 inches is just sitting down. But if you're laying flat, inclining like 2 inches is borderline sitting up. You get the best of both worlds, man. You get to lay down and you get to sit up a little bit. I told my wife this idea with half the plane having beds and half the plane having seats so people could still choose. They gotta treat us with a little dignity, man. I do think that the real problem is not the optics like you seem to suggest. I think the real problem is that if someone doesn't have their seatbelt on and there's any turbulence, the people on the top bunk are going to smash the shit out of their skulls on the top of the airplane, which seems really unsafe. It also, now that I think about it, Turbulence is not that scary when you're sitting down, but if you're laying down, it might feel like you're the dude at the end of 2001: A Space Odyssey. I'm not sure. What about the overhead bins? They become under bed storage. You slide out like a drawer that's the same size as the overheads and put your carry-on in there and then slide it back in. And that eliminates the problem of, can somebody look this up? Somebody get grok on this. How many people die every year because a carry-on suitcase falls on their head out of the overhead bin? I genuinely believe it could be 10 people getting like a brain hemorrhage from that. Why not sedate the passengers and then stack them? Low key, it actually would be sick if they anesthetized you for your flight. But the odds of you dying would they would probably go up by 10,000% if I had to guess. And flying would be really expensive because they would need to have like 100 anesthesiologists on every plane. If you thought it was expensive already, wait until they get 100 of the highest paid doctor discipline on the airplane too. Anyway, sorry. It's okay, the game's boring. It's not boring, it's just more fun to talk about nonsense. No game can beat that, man. I want to be with Isaac. No comment. I want to be by the window. That's like a fucking... That's a sad story, man. I want to be with Isaac. I want to be by the window. Damn. I love you. I love the view. I love you. Jack be like, I love you. Isaac be like, I love you too. Why is it muted? Chibli, did you hear my idea about instead of sitting in rows on the airplane, they give you bunk beds? Don't close your eyes. Chat's about to tell you why this idea won't work. And why I'm a bad person for coming up with it.
Took my bike to the lake. Brought my shovel, brought my rake. Took my boy to the swing. Let him swing, let them ring. Bought my friends Italian beef. Make them fart and make them queef. Abraham Lincoln was governor here. Only a steel man can be loved. You know what I'm talking about? Sufjan Stevens?